Welcome to ThinkTech on OC16, Hawaii's weekly newscast on things that matter to tech and to Hawaii. I'm Duke Oishi.
And I'm Lori Wingard.
In our show tonight, we'll cover the Impact Investing Luncheon Panel Program HVCA and ThinkTech recently presented.
The program dealt with the notion of socially responsible investing and the new B for Benefit Corporation adopted in Hawaii.
The first speaker was Chenoa Farnsworth of the Hawaii Angels.
Impact investing, in fact, the phrase impact investing was just coined in 2007. So while socially responsible investing, which Michael will speak to more, has been around for quite some time and using the public markets, the idea of using private investment markets for impact is fairly new. And again, for me, personally, very exciting. My word, my one word is meaning. So anyway, I think that what impact investing offers all of us is a way to combine our financial goals with meaning. So the conference that I just attended in San Francisco called the Social Capital Conference was combining money and meaning. That's the concept behind that conference. And it is literally a gathering of both entrepreneurs that are working in this space and venture capitalists and other investors, foundations, and the like that are working in this space. I wanted to help you kind of frame this discussion by definition of the marketplace. So the old way of thinking about this was, philanthropy is something that we do after we've made our money. And so there's kind of two different hats that we might wear, one as a business person and then one as a philanthropist. So this new thinking is that you can combine those two hats into one. And it's very exciting for me. Again, personally, I do a lot of philanthropy and I do a lot of investing. And the idea that I could combine both of these topics is very, very exciting. And would, I think, also brings a lot of meaning, and back to that word, to what we're all trying to accomplish. So that's kind of the definition, if you will. Impact investors typically look into a few different fields for impact investing. One is in the environment, obviously, and one is in social benefit. It looks like they're getting my slides going, so maybe I won't start over, don't worry. Okay, so anyway, yes, I was just going to give you an overview. The impact investing market is $500 billion. That's the latest statistic. So this is not a small marketplace. While it's relatively new, it's growing exponentially. In fact, Michael and I were just talking about this before. He told me this, again, we're talking about the private equity market in impact investing, has grown 600% in the last 4 years. So it's really huge and getting bigger. Now, okay, well, I guess you'll have to click it for me now. Sorry. No. Technology it never fails to do this to you. To do this every time. Anyway, I wanted to give you an example, and I had a little video, but never mind that.
It's working.
Yeah, but you can't forward it. It's not connected. Anyway, yeah, so the example that I wanted to give you was an organization out of San Francisco called The Hoop, and as an example of kind of a social entrepreneurship type of program. And what The Hoop does is The Hoop does micro investments in small artisans in primarily Central America. So I'm actually wearing my hoop pin today. So this is a really neat model for new companies, okay? So what they've done is actually combined both my desire to have things, which will never end, with my desire to do good in the world. So what happens there is that I'm able to give a microloan. I gave only just $25 microloan for this nice pin. And in fact, I'll get that money back because it's a loan. And, hoping that I will then recycle that into another loan. But, for my loan, I'm also getting something tangible.
Then we heard from Trevor Asam of Cades Schutte.
My one word was really hard to come up with, and I struggled with it. I'm going to go with options. The reason that I'm going with options instead of the other 2,000 words that I thought of last night between 10:30 and 11 o'clock at night goes with something that Chenoa was discussing. There's $500 billion out there, 177 funds that she mentioned, and most companies that are out there, especially the small startups right now, are wondering, how can I take advantage of that? How can I get a piece of that money? And as Chenoa mentioned, there are many, many options out there, different models that are being pursued, and I want to discuss two of them. Now, these are ways that companies can pursue social benefits at the same time that they're pursuing profits. As you can imagine, this leads to a lot of problems, and I want to start off actually by discussing what can go wrong in this situation. Not from a, we didn't make enough money perspective, because that's not really what these options are addressing. I think what these options address are the possibility that you are one of many organizations saying that you're doing good. How do you distinguish yourself as an organization that's actually performing on that promise? How do you generate a level of accountability that convinces socially responsible investors or impact investors that you are truly the company that they want to support as someone who is accomplishing what you say you're accomplishing? The example I like to go to for this is the forestry industry and the allegation of greenwashing. Many, many years ago, in the early 80s, I guess not that long ago, but in the early 80s, a group of environmentalists got together and said, we're really concerned about the forestry industry. There's a spotted owl thing going on. There's these clear-cutting things that are happening, and as environmentalists, we're very concerned about the lumber industry, the forest industry, the paper industry. We want to create some type of certification that says, hey, we're looking at this company and their practices we like. We like the fact that they don't clear cut. We like the fact that they are preserving certain habitats for endangered species. And we're going to come up with a certification program for these green foresters. They did a great job. They had this really nice set of rules about who could and who could not qualify for certification. And shortly thereafter, up sprang a new type of certification, the SFI, Sustainable Forestry Initiative, or something along those lines. SFI, a different certification program. And all of a sudden in the marketplace now, you had these two competing certifications. And as a consumer, someone who's buying lumber or paper, I don't know SFI from whatever the other one was. And so they're both green. They're both saying that they're certified. I'm going to go with whichever one's cheapest. As it turns out, SFI was sponsored by the largest paper and forestry producers in the industry. Its criteria for certification were not as rigorous, and in fact, were not all that hard to meet at all. So you had these two competing certifications, one of which, the one sponsored by the environmentalists, which was really rigorous and did a good job of identifying who was being a good environmental steward, and the other one, which became much more popular, didn't mean as much. So if you are that first company that went with the environmental certification that was rigorous and difficult to achieve, you really got screwed. You had put all this money and capital into making yourself into a real socially responsible company, and at the same time you've lost the marketing benefit, you've lost the branding benefit because something else sprung up that was able to accomplish the same marketing benefit. Consumers didn't know the difference, and yet your competitors who were less environmental were getting just as much credibility for it.
After that, we had remarks from Michael Kramer of Natural Investments.
Impactapalooza, that's my word, Bill.
Impactapalooza.
Impactapalooza, and I figured it better to make up a word. I have to say, after doing this for 20 years, how excited I am that this is happening, that this is becoming more popular. And I'm just thrilled because I've been doing this a very, very long time. And there's many types of impact, and this is more popular than ever, and that's why I picked that word. Let me just clarify. B, the reason it's called B is B for beneficial, a beneficial corporation. That's what it means. And we just had our site visit at our company. You think the survey is rigorous. They wanted to see receipts of expenditures that we had done. Because one of the criteria is how much do you buy from within a 100-mile radius of your location. It's quite something. It's the gold standard, and many things were mentioned about, or what could we do here in Hawaii? I did want to mention one other national standard, and that's Green America, formerly Co-op America, which has been doing this for 30 years. They also are a national green business certification organization, not quite as rigorous, easier for a lot of Hawaii companies to meet the criteria. However, here in the state of Hawaii, DBED has a program. DBED has a green business program with checklists. That's a third-party standard. The Outer Islands have programs. Malama Kauai has a green business program. In West Hawaii, there's the Konokohala Chamber of Commerce has the Kuleana Green Business Program, which I founded. Sustainable Living Institute of Maui has a program. So there are programs, and I would love to see the Chamber of Commerce of Hawaii have a program here for this island, and have offered to help them anytime they're ready. So in the meantime, DBED would be the way to go, I think, here. And the Sustainability Association of Hawaii, on whose board I sit, is trying to become the clearinghouse and is going to be the primary information source for all things about how to go through this process of becoming a sustainable business corporation, if that's what you wish to be in the state, if you want to register that way, as well as what are all the green business programs that are out there that you can use for third-party standards, and who are the consultants that are out there, the resources that can help you if you want to actually learn how to become a triple bottom line company. How can you do that? A lot of people say, yeah, I'm ready to do that. I don't know how. Help me do that. So that's going to be the central clearinghouse. So sahawaii.org is the Sustainability Hawaii Association of Hawaii. So I did want to mention that. Okay, I have a lot to say. And so what I wanted to say is that this is a $3 trillion marketplace in terms of triple bottom line investments. These are, this field has been called many things, and there are many types of impact. It's been called socially responsible investing, sustainable investing, ethical investing, values-based investing. We call it natural investing because we think it's natural to include your values into your investment decisions. By any description, though, it really is about your values. It's about, what do you believe in and how can you align your investments with what you believe in? And whether you're dealing with clients or you're dealing with yourself as an institution, you know what your values are. You know what you care about. You know that you care about people, and you probably know that you care about the planet. And how you choose to reflect that in your decisions is really, really up to you. I did want to say that, this $3 trillion is all the professionally managed money that we can count anyway that has this kind of impact orientation. That's 12% of all the managed money in the public markets, public and private markets. That's nothing to sneeze at. That's 12%, and that is a lot. And there are over 700 different types of funds, almost 200 of which are in this alternative space of what we would probably call private equity or privately held. Well, that means there's another 500 or so that are in the public markets. And then there's no universal standards. The values are really all over the place. There are religious orientations, there are progressive orientations, there are conservative orientations. Values there's a wide continuum. On the proactive side, you might want to be, some of the criteria that people use to invest this way are they might look for healthy lifestyle products, ways to prevent pollution, environmentally friendly products. They might look at clean public transportation, companies with really strong records of corporate governance, companies that honor diversity in the workplace, or really strong progressive benefits programs and really take good care of their employees as far as health and safety, have really outstanding track records of community relations and codes of conduct.
Finally, we welcomed a new investment manager in town, Murray Clay of Ulupono Initiative.
As the title of this panel discussion suggests, we are impact investors. We believe that by focusing on systemic issues in energy, food, and waste, we can play a part in improving the quality of life for the people of Hawaii. Specifically, we aim to invest in a way that helps Hawaii grow more of its own food, produce more of its own energy, and less waste. We are a hybrid organization with our philanthropic role handled by the Hawaii Community Foundation through a donor-advised fund, and our for-profit investments run directly by Ulupono. So what are our goals? We want to see local agricultural production double from where it is now over the next 10 years. We want to see Hawaii obtain 45% of its energy from local renewable sources by 2020 and 70% in the long run. We hope to see the amount of waste that is not reused or recycled significantly reduced. And of course, as a for-profit investment firm, we expect to make investments, earn returns commensurate with the risk that we take, and then roll that capital back into more impact investments. In fact, that's an important point. One of the reasons we're focused on returns is so that we can recycle that capital and keep our mission moving forward. Contrary to popular belief, we do not have barrels full of money back in the Ulupono offices. In fact, on that point, I wish we did, but on that point, as the father of 5 children, I hope that I'll be forgiven for using a cartoon as an example. But when I think of the size of Ulupono, with a staff of 10 people making investments in the $1 to $3 million range, versus the sheer size and magnitude of the problems that we're trying to help address, it reminds me of the cartoon Pinky and the Brain. So I'm looking for smiles to see if anyone knows that one. Anyway, for those of you that aren't familiar with it, Pinky and the Brain were a pair of mice. But despite just being little mice, the Brain had big plans. Every night after they'd sneak out of their cages, Pinky would say, "Gee, Brain, what do you want to do tonight?" To which the Brain would respond in his most sinister voice, "The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world." So hopefully, our efforts as a small organization to have big impact won't be viewed in quite as comic a light. So what do we look for? We seek best-in-class projects that have a unique advantage that can be capitalized on to move the needle in energy, agriculture, or waste. Best-in-class might mean a promising technology that's ready for commercial rollout, a particularly efficient feedstock for a biofuel plant, or importantly, an experienced and capable set of investment partners. We look for projects that have long-term viability, meaning partners that have a realistic plan for their organization to conduct its business or mission in the future without constant support. We want to work with organizations that share our values of respect for others, integrity, creativity, humility, and a Pono approach. Because the size of the problems we're trying to address are so huge, and no one party has all of the knowledge, expertise, and resources necessary, we seek to collaborate with those who are also interested in working with us on these tough issues. It might be helpful to go through a few examples of some of our investments. Hawaii Bioenergy is a particularly timely example. Just last week, Hawaiian Electric Company and Hawaii Bioenergy announced they had signed a contract to supply 10 million gallons per year of locally grown biofuel to help power Oahu. We are honored to be part of the HB Consortium, which was established by 3 of Hawaii's largest landowners, Kamehameha Schools, Grove Farm, and Maui Land and Pineapple. And we're very happy to be working with venture capital firms that include Finisterre Ventures and Vinod Khosla. We have faith in this combination of deep-rooted local community resources and landowners with best-in-class investors already proven in the fields of energy, agriculture, and innovation. Sopogy is another timely example. They were recently selected as the APEC Business Innovation Showcase winner for the city and county of Honolulu. Local entrepreneur Darren Kimura started Sopogy in 2002 and has grown the company from grown the micro-concentrated solar startup into a venture capital-backed company with global span. Sopogy already has installations in place or in progress in the United States, Mexico, Japan, and Papua New Guinea, with agreements for further installations in China, Thailand, and the Philippines. Sopogy's micro CSP systems have short payback periods, can be roof or ground mounted, and can be used to create electrical power, process heat, or solar air conditioning.
It was a great panel, and it taught us new and important things about how Hawaii investors can do well by doing good. We hope Hawaii investors pick up on this way of thinking and do the right thing for the benefit of all of us.
You know, I'm a young guy just out of school, and I recommend, if you're still in school, to come and learn about the issues out here.
The program was very good program, very timely. Social impact investing is going to be a next wave of investing.
The program was excellent. I appreciate everybody's time. It's always a help to get an opportunity to talk to people that are important in your field.
What I really enjoyed was everybody coming together and talking about this community of impact investors.
I think it was exciting and I am excited because there's a little bit of momentum.
And I had no idea what the topic was, but it was fantastic.
Loved it. I thought it was a very stimulating panel. It's not just about what you do with your money, it's what you do with your business.
It was very interesting as usual, and I look forward to it every month here with the old gang.
I think our panelists were great, and we really shed some light on a very, very important topic, not just for Hawaii, but educating the attendees on the fact that, hey, this really has traction.
I thought it was a great program. I learned a lot about the B corporations, the environment, the waste. Actually, I learned a lot more about Ulupono now.
Yeah, sure. I love the program. I hope you folks do more. If you folks have one of these kind of events again, I will definitely make sure that I attend.
So I'm just really excited that these things are mainstreaming and becoming more popular than ever, and I appreciated the receptivity of the audience.
Well, thanks, Jay, for putting this program on. One of the best things I got out of it was connecting with some of the speakers afterwards. For me, I'm looking forward to the conversation after this luncheon.
Now for a ThinkTech calendar of events going forward.
The first thing is ThinkTech's 4 to 5 p.m. weekly drive time radio series on KGU 760 AM, started this week covering business, Asia, tech, energy, the arts, and government. Tune in and stay tuned to 760 AM every afternoon at 4 p.m. and raise your awareness on ThinkTech Radio.
On Thursday, October 20th, ThinkTech will celebrate its annual guest and speaker reunion, calling all of its video and radio guests and speakers together in a rendezvous with all of our thinkers and friends. We are so looking forward. Please join us at the Plaza Club on October 20th.
On Thursday, October 27th, we'll present a 2-panel luncheon program entitled Hawaii Update on Agriculture, featuring Russell Kokubun, State Director of Agriculture, and others, examining whether and to what extent agriculture is working in Hawaii and how we can get it to critical mass.
And now, here's Bill Spencer, President of the Hawaii Venture Capital Association, with this week's Spensation.
I think the world needs to know that you've been a champion of tech and economic diversification for going on 12 years. 8 years of public radio, hundreds of guests, more guests than Jay Leno, as I like to say. 3 years now doing digital media, Olelo, and now OC16, covering all sorts of tech-related events, getting the word out. And now another media domain to conquer, drive time radio. So I really want to congratulate you and ThinkTech for staying the course, staying focused on the economic diversification message, helping people understand how a strong tech industry in Hawaii is going to result in participation in the global marketplace, which is how we're going to generate the taxable revenues that will help move this state forward. If you want to help me share the love and support ThinkTech, think about coming to our ThinkTech reunion on October 20th, 5:30 at the Plaza Club. It's a wonderful affair where we have guests who've been part of the program ever since the beginning, and be a chance to honor you and honor ThinkTech for all your accomplishments.
Thank you, Bill. It's been wonderful working with you all these years, and I look forward to continuing that. Otherwise, I am speechless, but I will see you on October 20th.
It's hard to believe, but we'll be there.
And here's our co-working entrepreneur, Richung Fujihira, to keep us current on his latest adventures at the Box Jelly.
So far, it's been a pretty good week. Right now, we're working on a few things. Tomorrow, we're getting ready. We're going to have Ryan Hugh come in again. He's like our lawyer in residence, and he's going to be doing a talk on social media and the law, which I think is a great subject because, you know, we all use social media so much, and we never really think about what it is we're putting out there and, you know, how we can kind of protect ourselves. So that's going to be a really good one. And our EIR program is going to be rolling out pretty soon on October 4th. We're going to have Russell Chang come in for his first section. So we're really looking forward to that one as well. And these days, it feels like we're kind of shifting into a new phase in our business. And a lot of like the initial like energy where it's like, is kind of dying down just a little bit. And now we got to really focus on things like, you know, developing systems, training our people so everybody kind of like addresses issues the same way, getting paperwork and, you know, metrics together. So we've been working a lot with that, and then also the branding piece and the system of how to keep our message consistent, you know, whatever channel we're using. So those are pretty much the things that we're working on. And the final thing is high capacity coming into the Box Jelly starting in October. The second week of October is a really big thing for us. So high capacity, they're a makerspace, and they're going to be coming in, and in the nights and the weekends, they're going to be there programming and working with hardware. So we're happy about that too.
We'll be right back to wrap up this week's edition of ThinkTech. But first, we want to thank our underwriters.
Thanks to the Scheidler Family Foundation, which supports a number of educational, cultural, and charitable organizations, including ThinkTech.
Hawaiian Electric Company and its affiliates Miko on Maui and Helco on the Big Island are deeply committed to the communities they serve.
Galen Ho is a senior executive of BAE Systems, a global defense, security, and aerospace company, and CEO of CBI Polymers, a tech company in Hawaii.
Oceanit, another local tech company, is one of Hawaii's largest and most diversified science and engineering companies.
And don't forget ThinkTech. Please help us out by making a contribution on thinktechhawaii.com. It'll help us with all the things we do to raise public awareness about tech, energy, diversification, and globalism in Hawaii. Thank you so much. Okay, Lori, that wraps up this week's edition of ThinkTech. Remember, you can watch ThinkTech on OC16 several times every week. Can't get enough of it, just like Lori does. For additional times, check out oc16.tv.
You bet, Duke. For lots more ThinkTech videos and for underwriting and sponsorship opportunities on ThinkTech on OC16, visit thinktechhawaii.com.
I'm Duke Oishi. Thanks for joining us on ThinkTech.
I'm Lori Wingard. Aloha, everyone.